Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. Al-Maqamatul Rabi'ah. बराबर याद किया है ने वे पूरा मकाम याद है आसिम बराबर याद किया है चलो फोर्थ मकामा दिमियातिया Dimyat is a city between which and Misr, Egypt, there are 30 farsakhs, meaning 120 miles. And it is on the seaside. And the river Nile water reaches it. From there, it falls into the ocean. So it's a large city. It's like a seaport. This maqama happened in Dimyat. Haris ibn Hammam is traveling in a caravan towards Damiyata. And during one of the nights, they halt at a place for resting towards the end of the night. When they camp there and everybody has settled down, Haris ibn Hammam hears two persons talking with one another. The younger one was asked about his opinion of his behavior towards the neighbors. And he says he's extremely charitable, generous with the neighbors. Upon which the other one rebukes him and he says that the fitting conduct with everyone should be you treat them the way they treat you. If someone is bad to me, I treat them in the same manner. And whoever is nice to me, I am nice to them. And there is a little bit of selfishness in there. But he tries to make it some worldly wisdom behind it. And the conversation sort of fascinates Haris ibn Hammam. So in the morning, he goes out to look for them both. And he finds that the elder man is Abu Zayd Saruji and the younger one is his son. So he's very happy and he invites them to join his caravan, come to his friends on his side. And he introduces Abu Zayd to his friends. And since they were all well off at the time, they shower him with gifts. And he thanks them. And then he says, I need to go to the nearby town to get a shower, wash myself, and get some food. I will be back in a bit. And he rushes off with his son. And then the time for journeying comes, but Abu Zayd and his son are still not back. So they wait and wait and wait, and it's nearly Maghrib time, evening fall. So they say, we have to travel now, we can't wait any longer. So Haris comes to his Palantine, and he sees some poetry written in there with a chalk or something, coal. And Abu Zayd has written that poetry before he left, that don't be angry. In Quran it is said, فَإِذَا تَعِمْتُمْ فَانْتَشِرُوا. So when I got my bit, I ran off. So don't be angry with me. So Haris ibn Hammam said, I was angry. We just moved on and traveled from there. This is the gist of the Maqama. أخبر الحارث بن همام قال زعنت إلى دمياط عام هياط ومياط. I traveled towards Dimyat in the year of much coming and going. In the year in which there was a lot of traveling going on towards Dimyat. It was a year of affluency, and people were looking towards Dimyat and its economy. Ama hayatin wa mayat, hayata yuhayitu muhayatatan, literally उसके माना है खींचना. और मायता युमायतु मुमायततन, इमाततुल अज़ानी तरीक से है धक्का देना. तो push and pull, the year of pushing and pulling, meaning coming and going, a lot of movements. وأنا يومئذ مرموق الرخاء موموق الإخاء. At that time I was one whose affluence was looked up to and whose friendship was liked by everyone. Marmuqur Rakha, Marmuq from Ramaka. Ramaka Yarmuku Ramkan means good kar dekhna. So people used to stare at my Rakha. Rakha means Khushhali, which had an affluency. So people used to look at up to my Khushhali, Mawmuqul Ikha, and my friendship and brotherhood was liked and loved by everyone. Wamiqa Yamiqu Wamqan, which had an Li'ain al Wamiqi. Wamiq ki mana ashiq. تو موموق के माना माशूक महबूब महबूबुल इखा इखा आखा युआखी muakhatan brotherhood. Everyone wanted to be my brother and my friend, because when a person is loaded, everyone wants to be friends with them because they can benefit from them. बिरयानी मिलेगी, चाय पानी मिलेगी, खाना पीना मिलेगा, पैसे मिलेंगे. أصحب مطارف الثراء وأجتلي معارف السراء. I was pulling the chadar and sheets of wealth, and I was seeing visible the faces of joy and happiness. Ashabu sahaba yashabu sahban ke mana kheenchna, to drag, to pull. Matarif, plural of mutraf. Mutraf means with ta, it means a sheet chadar with nice beautiful embroidery on it. And thara means maldari, daulat. Thara yathri tharan ke mana maldar hona. And wajtari, ijtala yajtali ijtilaan means khule muh dekhna. I used to see with visible clear eyes. Ma'arif as-sarra. Ma'arif, plural of ma'araf. And ma'araf means isme zarf, place of recognition. What is the place of recognition in a person? His face. Because if a person's head is chopped off and his body is found on the street somewhere or in a canal, you don't know who he is. So the place of recognition is the face. So ma'araf means face, and sarra means khushi, happiness, joy. I was visibly seeing the faces of happiness. فرافقت صحبا قد شقوا عصا الشقاق وارتضعوا أفاويق الوفاق. I joined in company with some companions who had broken the staff of dissension and dispute, and who had suckled on the milk flows of concord agreement. Rafaqa yurafiqu murafaqatan, rafiq banana, to make a companion. Sahban, plural of sahib, sati. Qad shaqqu, shaqq yashuqqu shaqqan means cheerna, parna, tear apart. Asa shiqaq, asa lathi. Shiqaq from shaq, yushaqu mushaqqatan wa shiqaqan, ke mana ikhtilaf karna, dissension, dispute. So they had torn away their staff and lathi of dispute, meaning they never disputed with one another. وَارْتَضَعُوا أَفَاوِيقَ الْوِفَاقِ. And they had suckled, irtada ke mana doodh peena. They had suckled and they had taken the milk of afawiqul wifaq, of milk flows of concord. असल में अफावीक जो है ये अफवाक की जमा है, और अफवाक ये फूक की जमा है, और फूक के माना दो दफे दूध निकालने का बीच का गैप. क्योंकि एक दफे बकरी को या गाय को या ऊँटनी को दूध निकालते हैं तो फिर थोड़ी देर 10-15 मिनट रहने देते हैं ताकि मोर मिल्क कम्स डाउन इनटू द अदर्स, और उसके बाद दोबारा उसको मिल्क करते हैं. तो ये जो थोड़ा सा 10-15 मिनट्स का टाइम है वक्फा, या फ्यू मिनट्स मे बी 4-5 मिनट्स, उसको फूक कहते हैं. और उसकी जमा अफवाक और उसकी जमउल जमा अफावीक. So they had milk from the milk cords of wifaq, ittifaq. Wafaqa yuwafiqu muwafaqatan ki mana agreement. You agree with everything your friend says. Is called muwafaqat. So they had taken milk from the milk cords of agreements. Meaning they were very nice people, very humble, very cooperative with one another. They never fought with one another, they never argued with one another. حتى لاحوا كأسنان المشط في الاستواء, to the extent that they appeared like the teeth of the comb in uniformity. وكالنفس الواحدة في التئام الأهواء, and like one soul in agreement of desires. लाहू लाह यलूहु लौहन means जाहिर होना, तो जाहिर हो रहे थे, अपीयर हो रहे थे. असनानिल मिश्ती, असनान प्लुरल ऑफ सिन्नुन, सिन्नुन मीन्स दांत, और मिश्तुन के माना कंगी. तो कंगी के दांत, कंगी के दांत ऊपर नीचे हो, छोटे बड़े हों तो कंगी कर सकते हैं? नहीं कर सकते. तो कंगी के दांत पूरे एक लेवल में होने चाहिए. जैसे ये मेरी उंगलियां एक लेवल में हैं, तो ये एक लेवल में हो तो कंगी बराबर होती है. इफ आगे पीछे हों, छोटे बड़े हों तो कंगी नहीं होगी. तो दे अपीयर लाइक the teeth of the comb in uniformity and in barabari and equality. And they appeared like wakan nafsil wahida, like one soul, fi ilti'amil ahwa, in agreement of desires. Ilta'ama yalta'imu ilti'aman ke mana jurna, combine, combination. Ahwa is plural of hawa, which means desires. Now one person cannot have conflicting desires at one time. You know, he can't have desire to drink hot and desire to drink cold. He will have desire to eat hot drink or take cold drink, but he can't have both things at the same time. Two people can have, one wants to have hot drink, the other wants to have cold drink. Similarly, clothing, wearing, eating, food. You know, one person has one desire at one time. If he has two, then that means he's Vahmila. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not got his own mind. So these, all of the group were like one person in their desires, being confirming with one another. They wouldn't argue with one another. If one said something, the other said, okay, we'll eat pizza. Okay, we'll eat pizza. We'll order rice. Okay, we'll order rice. We'll have roti. Okay, we'll have roti. So they all agreed in their desires. That's how they were. وَكُنَّا مَعَ ذَلِكَ نَسِيرُ النَّجَاةِ. And with this condition and in this state, we were traveling swiftly. وَلَا نَرْحَلُ إِلَّا كُلَّ هُجَاء. And we would not saddle except every fast running camel. Nasiru Sara Yasiru Sayran Chalna. Naja Yanju. Naja means to run fast. And Naja means to run quickly, run quickly. Wala narhalu rahala yarhalu palan chadhana. And to saddle, to put the palantine. Illa kulla hauja. Hauja means tez raftar untni. Asal mein hauja is from havija yahwaju havajan, which means himaqat, foolishness. Now the camel is loaded with heavy loads. It forgets the load on its back and it runs as fast as it could. So it's called yet untni ahmaq hai. It's foolish. It's not looking, paying attention. It's destroying itself by taking so much load and burden on its back. So we would not put palan except on every hauja, swift running camel. وَإِذَا نَزَلْنَا manzilan, and when we would descend on a manzil station, أَوْ وَرَدْنَا manhalan, or we went on the side of a spring, اِخْتَلَسْنَا اللُّبْثَ, we snatched our halt and our staying, وَلَمْ نُطِلِ الْمَقْثَ, and we would not lengthen our staying there. Nazalna manzilan, when we descend on a manzil, aw waradna manhalan, or we went to the side of a water spring. Warada yuridu wurudan, to come to some water place. And manhal means mawdi'u shurb, jama manahil. Nahalatil ibilu nahlan means sharibat awwal shurbi. They came to drink at the riverside or the fountain side or at the house, pool, for the first time. So Nahala means to come to drink. Manhal means the place of drinking. When we would arrive at a fountain place or a pond or a lake where our camels can drink, we can drink water as well. Then ikhtalasna lubtha, we would snatch our halt. Ikhtalas ikhtalisu ke mana to snatch. Khallas means pickpocket. So we would snatch, meaning we would make it very brief. We would make brief al-lubtha, our halt and our staying there. Walam nutilil maqsa, and atala yutilu, to lengthen. We would not lengthen our staying there. चलो आगे फ़अन्न लना, इसको बाद में पढ़ना, टाइम बहुत हो गया, शुरू से कर लो. Harith ibn Hammam says, I traveled to Dimyat in the year of coming and going Huz and Buzz. And at that time, I was such that my affluency was looked towards and looked at, and my friendship was loved by everyone. I was pulling on myself the beautiful sheets and garments of wealth, and I was seeing with my open eyes the faces of happiness and joy. I stayed in the company of some companions who had torn apart the stick of dissension and dispute, and who had suckled from the milk cords of confirmation and uniformity, to the extent that they appeared like the teeth of a comb in barabari and equality, and like one person in conformity and uniformity of their desires. And in spite of this, we used to travel swiftly, and we would not saddle except every fast running camel. All our camels were fast running. And when we would descend on a manzil, or we would come down and go to take some water from a fountain place or a pond, we would snatch our halt, and we would not lengthen our stay over there. हमने सफ़र किया दिमियात का आने जाने वाले साल में. उन दिनों में ऐसा था कि मेरी खुशहाली देखी जाती थी और मेरी दोस्ती पसंद की जाती थी. मैं खींचता था मालदारी की चादरों को, और मैं खुली आंखों देखता था खुशी के चेहरों को. मैंने ऐसे दोस्तों को साथी बनाया जिन्होंने फाड़ दिया था इख्तिलाफ की लाठी को और दूध पिया था इत्तिफाक के थनों से, यहाँ तक कि वो जाहिर हुए कंगी के दांतों की तरह बराबरी में और एक शख्स की तरह ख्वाहिशात के जुड़ने में. और हम इसके साथ साथ चलते थे तेज़ रफ्तारी से और पालान न चढ़ाते मगर हर तेज़ ऊँटनी पर. और जब किसी मंजिल पर उतरते या किसी घाट पर पहुंचते तो हम अपने ठहरने को उचक लेते, यानी मुख्तसर करते, और ठहरने को लंबा न करते. चलो फ़ान न लना, बाद में पढ़ना. जाओ जी.